Right, so for as much as Keir Starmer is giving the impression right now that he doesn't care what Labour councillors say on the matter of a ceasefire, doesn't care what members have to say, doesn't care how many of them quit the party right now because of his refusal to take a stand against more civilian deaths, which is what refusing to back a ceasefire ultimately amounts to. Behind the scenes, Labour might be panicking a little bit. And the reason I think they might be panicking a little bit is because an email has apparently been sent out to councillors, Labour councillors, by We Believe in Israel, the pro-Israel advocacy company, a branch of BICOM, the British Israel Communications and Research Centre, who are basically Israel lobbyists funded by the Israeli state. We Believe in Israel's director is a certain Luke Akehurst, a rabid right-winger who has publicly scoffed at some of the councillors who have quit the party on his home turf of Oxford City Council over Starmer's ceasefire stance, and who happens to also sit on Labour's National Executive Committee as one of the staunch Starmer supporting lot. Well, this email, allegedly sent out from We Believe in Israel to Labour councillors, apparently from Akehurst himself, pretty much telling them not to criticise Israel as is entirely justifiable to do right now. But the question I want to know is, having had this email passed on to me, did every Labour councillor get sent this? Since if that is the case, since when did being a Labour member, or elected official even, automatically put you on We Believe in Israel's mailing list? Has Akehurst broken GDPR rules over this? Right, so pro-Israel cheerleader, though I really don't want to picture him in a short skirt and pom-poms, Luke Akehurst of the Labour Party NEC, but in his role as director of We Believe in Israel, has apparently sent out an email that has been passed on to me, which seems to be an attempt to reach out to councillors the country over, assuming it has been sent to them all. I don't know that. It may only be ones on the We Believe in Israel mailing list, but to be on their mailing list, you'd have to be of a pro-Israel persuasion already. And the content of the email implies to my mind an attempt to reach out beyond that. This to me looks like an attempt, albeit a weak one, to try and do some damage limitation as more and more councillors seemingly on a weekly basis quit the Labour Party to become independents, disgusted at Keir Starmer's refusal to back a ceasefire. This is what it says. See what you make of it. Dear Councillor, the war between Israel and Hamas. I'm writing as director of We Believe in Israel. We have a long-standing network of councillors, local government friends of Israel, launched at LGA Conference 2015, which serves to combat attempts to boycott and delegitimise Israel in local authorities, educate and inform councillors about Israel, build links between British and Israeli authorities, advocate for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Right now, I know you will be horrified both by the massacre of 1,400 Israelis perpetrated by Hamas on the 7th of October and the associated atrocities and kidnappings, and by the deaths and suffering in Gaza that have happened as a result of the subsequent war. Our main ask of you, wherever your sympathies instinctively lie in this complex conflict, is not to do anything as a councillor or collectively as a council that exacerbates tensions between communities in your area or imports the conflict into your town hall. Please consider marking your concerns about the war in a way that brings communities together, such as a multi-faith vigil for peace. Please do not lose sight of the fact that the 7th of October was the largest death toll of Jewish people since the Holocaust and the worst terrorist attack since 9/11. Many Jewish people in the UK have lost friends and family in Israel or are terrified about what might happen to them, and all of the community is traumatised by the horror of what has happened. If you wish to condemn specific military actions by Israel, please use language that is not inflammatory, avoids anti-Semitic stereotypes or tropes, does not delegitimise Israel's existence, and does not seek to blame diaspora Jewish communities. If you wish to express solidarity with suffering Palestinians, please do this in a way that is pro-Palestinian, pro-peace, and not anti-Israel. If you want more on the background to the conflict to deepen your understanding, we would recommend this briefing from BICOM. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything relating to Israel. If you need advice about how to respond to motions about the conflict, boycott proposals, or any other anti-Israel activity affecting your local authority, please do not hesitate to contact me. Best wishes, Luke Akehurst, Director, We Believe in Israel. Brass neck of him! He's not done this in his capacity of a member of the Labour Party NEC. He's quite clear about that. Yet he's contacting Labour councillors, apparently, if this is legitimate. And when he begins his email by introducing We Believe in Israel, it implies that this has not gone to people already on their mailing list. So has Akehurst used Labour mailing lists for his own business interests, as well as to push, still, even now, a pro-Israel narrative? Express solidarity with Palestinians, but only as long as you do it in an Israel-friendly way. Bit difficult when it is Israel blowing them to bits though, eh? 1,400 dead Israelis, largest death toll of Jewish people since the Holocaust, biggest terrorist event since 9/11. That is a legitimate tragedy. But when he refers to those deaths as a massacre, and what is happening in Gaza is simply deaths and suffering, when the death toll in Gaza has now topped 10,000, is nearly 10 times higher than the Israeli death toll. That 9/11 claim, a little bit stretched at this point, given how Israel is behaving, in my opinion. It's not exactly even-handed in its description, is it? They're mainly Muslims, though. If you have to be critical of the Israeli military, be very careful not to be anti-Semitic about it, because that's never been weaponised at all, ever, has it? The whole thing is, despite the resignations we've seen, an attempt to still protect Israel from criticism by more councillors who are increasingly going public with their disgust at their party's response to what is happening in Israel and Gaza. Instead of trying to placate and open a dialogue with elected Labour figures, Akers seemingly has decided that telling them what to do is what they need, and if in doubt, here's some propaganda from BICOM to take a look at. It is adding insult to injury, and what right does he have to do this? Who does he think he is? If I'd been sent this, I'd put it through the shredder and print another copy off just so I could do it again. How dare Akers tell people how they should be angry in this situation, and who they ought to be angry at, and in what way they should be angry, and how they should direct that. He's ardently pro-Israel. He's paid to be. He's not impartial. And I don't see how this is going to calm down tensions amongst Labour figures, since if it got my back up reading it, it will have done likewise to others. Are you an elected Labour official? Did you get a copy of this email? And if so, have you got a connection to We Believe in Israel that would warrant you having it? I'd like to know. I'd like to know if people have been sent this despite having nothing to do with Akers' outfit, implying he's using data that he's probably got no right to be. And has he done this with the OK from Labour itself to use their data? Because that would be worse. He's certainly in a position, I think, where that could be the case, being on the NEC. That would mean they're permitting your data to be used by him to push his pro-Israeli agenda on councillors, increasingly fed up with their party not backing a ceasefire. That's insane, if that's the truth of it, and casts an even darker shadow over Labour's ongoing response to this genocide we're all observing. There's questions here that need answering. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, share and subscribe if you did. More content out daily. Please do have your say on this in the comments below and be part of the conversation. Meanwhile, here's a video recommendation where Akers himself attacking Jews isn't a new phenomenon, as he recently laid into prominent Jewish activist Jackie Walker. Oh, she must be the wrong sort then. And I'll hopefully see you on the next vid. Cheers, folks.